2GR.
Hey everybody, welcome to our E3 2018 preview for the Ubisoft press conference. I am Sean, this is Rudy, this is Matt.
Hey-o.
Today we've got about, 7 games that we're going to talk about today. Previews for E3. Some of these games have been announced. Some of these games have not yet been announced. Some of these games could be dreams. Yeah. Actually, maybe not. Some of these actually are all pretty realistic, which you'll find out here shortly. We're going to talk about each game, then we're going to talk about should you be hyped if it shows up at their press conference. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's get it started with probably going to happen.
Oh, Totes My Goats.
Well, they already announced that.
The Division 2.
I heard, I never played the first one, but I did hear that the first one had a roughish start.
Very rough.
But afterwards, once they tweaked it, it was actually freaking amazing. So if they go ahead and grab all that knowledge and apply it towards the second sequel, I'd be hyped.
I waited a year.
Yeah.
And they came out with, what got me was, they came out with a survival mode that was like a scaled down battle royale before Fortnite and PUBG.
Yeah.
When King of the Hill was the only one. And I was like, and it was good. It was like you start off, they use the entire map for the entire game, and 24 people spawn in either individual teams of 2 or teams of 4, and you have a disease, and it's counting down your timer, and then you go outside and it's cold, and you can freeze to death in 30 seconds, and you have to go from fire to fire, and you get gear, and you fight NPCs to work your way towards the center, and you kill other players, and then you're trying to get to the very center, get a cure for the virus, and extract. And it was so cool. I sunk 110 hours into that gameplay mode. I didn't do any that in beating the campaign. I loved it to death. And then they continue. I mean, they just kept adding new mechanics and new. Division got good at the end. I think it was better than Destiny in a lot of ways.
Well, it's funny you say Destiny, because I was just thinking, where's the Destiny killer? Well, Destiny 2 was the Destiny killer. It killed itself. So the Division 2 could just walk right in and take over that space.
I mean, it is third person. It does have big health pools. It's got a scoring, a points damage based system. So it's not like a normal shooter where you shoot someone in the head and they die.
Right.
So it's a little different. I don't think it's a direct competitor, but it is the only MMO light that I think kind of hit its stride well enough. I suppose Destiny did, but they've kind of gotten rid of that goodwill with Destiny 2. So I already am hyped. I'm hyped to see where they go with it. Hopefully they learned from Bungie's mistake and they don't trash all the good stuff they did at the end of the first one.
I'm not super hyped, but I'm hyped enough to pay. I'll be paying attention when this shows up on screen, for sure.
Sweet.
Let's move on to a game that I don't think is actually coming out this year, because they had one in October last year.
Trying not to
Assassin's Creed,
yeah. They're trying to get away from the yearly.
Yeah, yes. Since Black Flag, it's kind of gone a little downhill.
Yeah.
Unity was the first next gen one, and it was bad.
Yeah, that was.
Syndicate was an apology and was much better. And none of us played Origin.
I have it.
And I really want to, because everything I hear is it's very good.
Yeah.
Maybe not even great, but just it's good.
It's passable.
Yeah, they found a way to do Assassin's Creed and not have it be tied to the originals. Nothing's going to beat Black Flag. How are you ever going to beat Black Flag? If they announced, stipulation, right? I keep doing this, stipulation for I'd be like, okay, another Assassin's Creed. If they announced Assassin's Creed Black Flag 2,
I would agree.
I would lose my mind.
Now I would be on board. Absolutely.
That would be nuts.
You pulled me back in, Matt. Now I'm hyped. Potentially. Asterisk.
Yeah.
Asterisk.
I would be very happy.
I'd be stoked.
Probably not going to happen.
Probably not.
Because they are, as you said, they're trying to alternate now.
You do wonder though. Do you think that with them rebuilding, they have that in the back of their minds that it was so successful that they'd be able to cash in when the tech is where they want it to be?
I think yes. However, we'll you know what? We'll skip ahead based on this list. I think their answer to that was Skull and Bones. So this was a game that was announced last year at their E3 press conference. It's ship-to-ship pirate combat. And, of course, when we first saw it, it was like, it's their Black Flag spin-off IP. It has nothing. Yep. Get rid of the assassin stuff, and it's just all pirates. Hell yeah, this is going to be great. since then, I think there's been stories come out about how, well, it doesn't really have a campaign and the multiplayer is kind of basic and
Yeah.
It looks like they're trying to cash in on sort of like the Dreadnought thing. You know what Dreadnought is? It's a free-to-play space, like Corvette kind of like multiplayer game where you pick like a ship class and you have like 3 degrees of motion, and it's like kind of third-person shootery, and there's like faster support ships, and then there's like heavy damage ones. They're called Dreadnoughts and Corvettes and all this stuff. And it's like Fractured Space is another one that's on Steam. It's all like just the ship-based sort of multiplayer. It's fun. It's not super deep. I haven't actually gotten a chance to do Dreadnought a lot, although it is free to play. It kind of looks like it's trying to get into that area, but I don't think it's. I mean, connecting it back to Assassin's Creed Black Flag, no. Like, give me a break. You're just. It's not. I can't. If that's all it is, I couldn't possibly care less. I would hope that it's more than that, but that's what we said when they revealed it last year at E3.
Right.
So
I'd pay less attention when it comes on screen than Division 2. I'll pay attention, I guess.
Unless they really like they reveal all this new stuff.
They're gonna have to come back and say, we heard your feedback, we've retooled it. This is now the re-reveal of Skull and Bones.
Yeah.
I expect them to reveal it and have them show like, oh, you can jump from ship to ship and fight, and I'm gonna go, yeah, but I could do that in Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and you're telling me that the only difference is here I can do it with another player. I don't.
I mean, you could do it in Sea of Thieves and look at how that went.
I mean, like.
Not knocking the game itself, but just people didn't care.
Yeah.
And they did kind of maybe. Oh, I wonder too if they're the success of, which I don't even know if it was really super financially successful, but oh my god, sword fighting game. I'm totally blanking on the name right now. I played it for like 30 hours with like the knights and the samurai and the Vikings. I'm
it was that
blanking.
good.
I know exactly.
I know what you're talking about too.
I can't think of the name right now.
I remember the trailer.
For Honor.
Yes, For Honor.
Which was actually, I really liked the time I spent with it. I haven't played it since Season 1. I don't know why I fell off on it, but it was good. It was tense. It was skill-based. It had a lot of really cool fighting game elements, but it was more accessible than a fighting game. I liked that one a lot. I could see them trying to like, we did well in a multiplayer-only game. But.
Rudy, we've been ping-ponging over your head. How are you feeling about this?
I don't know, man. Like I felt the same way that you did when they first initially revealed it, and I was excited and hopeful. But Sea of Thieves, man, it left like such a bad. I know it's two completely different things, but it left like it was like that was so cool, and now it came out, and it's just like no. So now I'm kind of like a little bit cautiously optimistic, I guess would be the best way of saying it.
That's a good way of putting it.
If they show stuff and they show mechanics and they show more gameplay that's responsive towards the feedback that was provided, I'm game. I'm stoked. But again, I'll keep an eye on it. But I'm not going to be, this isn't like day one for me.
Right. This is not filler, but it's like a smaller title to help flesh out some of the bigger stuff.
Exactly. A palate cleanser, so to speak.
So keep an eye out for it. Hopefully it's not all skull and bones. Hopefully there's some meat to it.
Dad jokes.
We'll back it back up. So the reason why Assassin's Creed is probably not happening this year is because it's expected, or I think that might have even been announced. I can't remember.
I don't think so.
Watch Dogs 3.
Yeah.
Seems so soon. I feel like Watch Dogs 2 just
yeah, I know, right?
Maybe
that's their new Assassin's Creed.
Came out of nowhere too. Like that was one of those games. Was like, oh wait, they already are doing that. I mean, how did they build that game so fast?
I think it was 2014 and 2016.
God, it just feels
so 2 years later, 2018.
They're building these big city replicas like GTA style. So,
and Watch Dogs 1 was bad.
Watch Dogs 1 failed to meet expectations on multiple levels.
2 needed to be like...
And 2 was good, I heard.
I've heard
it did very well.
Yeah, the first Watch Dogs was sort of the peak of the... Because it was announced before the next-gen consoles were announced. Mm-hmm. And it was shown at the same... I remember it was shown at the same time as Last of Us. And it was like, these have to be next-gen. And Last of Us didn't end up being, and Watch Dogs did.
Was it multi-gen released?
No.
Watch Dogs.
I think it was exclusive. I think it was PS4 exclusive.
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not sure.
It was PC and next gen, I think, because it took them a while to come out with it. But it was the first victim to fall to something that Ubisoft was notorious for 3 years.
Downgrade.
Yeah, the downgrade, the faked multiplayer trailer.
Right.
It was all baloney, and the graphics. And I mean, even Division struggled with this a little bit. Not nearly as much, but
Yep.
Heard Watch Dogs 2 was good. I mean, I should probably go play it at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be hyped.
See, this is, we've talked about Ubisoft's games in the past. It's not all of them, but they're assembly line, pump them out titles that have been coming out recently, like the Assassin's Creeds, the Far Cry's is falling under this now. Watch Dogs is part of this. It's just like, yeah, you're right. It's just mini map. Here's a bunch of activities you can do. Go and give us $60.
At least Watch Dogs 2 took itself a little less serious. It wasn't like the Tom Clancy rules everything. Like everything's a spy thriller, and there's always like a Russian that's trying to launch a nuke at somebody. Like, and I don't get me wrong, I love Ghost Recon, I love Splinter Cell, I love I love all that stuff that he inspired. But it was good for them to steer away from that. They keep steering away from it. It could be fun.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm indifferent towards
There's no
Watch
GTA
Dogs.
getting announced, so there's
true.
room to fill there.
That is true. Yeah. Here's a game that I think would be fresh. It's been a while. Splinter Cell.
Yes, please.
Yes.
The world could always use more stealth action games.
100%. On the condition that...
Well, that they're good.
Well, no. The condition being that I don't know why they let the original voice actor walk, because I couldn't play Blacklist. Like I couldn't get over the voice being so different. It drove me up a wall. And I heard that game was really good, that it expanded on God, I can't remember the names, the subtitle names. It was the first revamped one where they made it more actiony and a little more stealth. No, Double Agent was pre this. It was the first one after Double Agent. It was next gen. It was started with a C. I can't remember anymore, but Sam Fisher went rogue.
Splinter Cell, can't remember the name.
But I heard this. I heard this Black. Was it Black Cell? I can't remember that one either.
Blacklist.
Yeah.
Anyway, I heard it built on it really well, but again, like that voice killed me. So yes, I would love to see a new Splinter Cell.
Can they do Splinter Cell without Sam Fisher, or is he Splinter Cell?
That's a great question.
That is a phenomenal question, because like to me, he's pivotal. Like you hear his voice, and like I automatically.
Yeah.
Could they rebrand, relaunch, and do something new? Just go in a different direction.
You have to tie it, so because the thing is, like, story now, Third Echelon is dead. He like took it down because it was corrupt on the inside, and now he's a part of Fourth Echelon, which is like its own, like it's a smaller, more agile, like they're out to like take people down sort of thing. So it's a little different. I mean, I could see them doing it without him and having it work. I guess what springs to mind is, but they didn't do this all along, so how do you do it, is what Metal Gear did, where you're playing the two characters.
Right.
But that was so well set up to play as, Big Boss after it. How the hell would you do that? I don't know. So, yeah, I mean, I could definitely see them being like, it's a female Splinter Cell agent.
That would be cool.
That'd be cool.
If they made it, if they gave her good character, if they made her interesting, if it was like, if somehow his daughter got, I don't know.
Samantha Fisher.
Yeah, I don't know.
That'd be cool.
So, yeah, sure. But I want good Splinter Cell. I miss good stealth action.
We were looking forward to this last year. I think at one point we were like, here comes Splinter Cell. Nope. Here comes Splinter Cell. Nope. Yeah. And then at one point there was like green on the screen. We're like, it's happening. Nope. It was something else.
Yeah, I do remember us being like, yes! So, yeah, I mean, I'd definitely be hyped.
Yeah.
I miss you, Sam.
So of all the games on this list, as far as announcements go, probably their biggest announcement that we think is so reasonable to expect this year?
I'd say so, absolutely. I mean, considering that the Division 2's already been announced, I think it would absolutely be.
Yeah.
What about Rayman? Would Rayman be a big announcement?
Oh.
Are you going to do an Onyx impression for this?
I don't know. I might have Onyxed myself out on the last video. What? Of course it would be. Dude, of course it would be a big now. Let me tell you about Rayman. I mean.
That was perfect. 10 out of 10.
They have, like. The last one was so good, and they've kind of Skyrim'd it. They've re-released it a couple times. Like it's out on, is it out? It's
out on Switch.
It's out on Switch now.
That's right.
It's an inferior version, by the way.
Actually, they just dropped it on PS Plus.
PS Plus, Rayman Legends, right?
Yes, and Rayman Legends was absolutely outstanding and beat so many of the recent good platformers to market. Like it came out at a very good time, so yeah, I'd be pretty hyped. I think it's got enough goodwill. I think people like Rayman.
Yeah. Dude, I'm stoked. I mean, I played the demo of it on the Switch when it was up on the eShop. Fun as heck game. The mechanics are so well done.
Great
Dude,
art
it's
style.
so good.
You love yourself some platformers, Rudy.
Dude, they're so good.
It's funny going through these games for all these conferences. I'm like, wow, there's a lot of platformers out there. They do really, really well.
It's a classic, man.
Yeah.
You can't beat it. You
No.
know?
I personally probably wouldn't be too hyped because I'm not a big fan. It doesn't matter to me, but it would be a big deal. You gotta pay attention to Rayman. This is one of their
Wow.
tentpole titles,
Yeah.
tentpole
Oh, yeah.
franchises.
Totally.
I'd agree. Yeah, for sure.
Last but not least, this was, I would argue, maybe not necessarily their best announcement last year because you had Mario and Rabbids, which turned out to be fantastic. Beyond Good and Evil 2 is definitely a legendary announcement. So from a headline perspective, this was a huge deal last year. They gave that great cinematic reveal. It's time for gameplay.
I agree.
It was a crowning jewel of E3 to me. And if we had not had, which we just did a video on recently, that legendary conference a few years back with The Last Guardian coming back and with Final Fantasy and with Shenmue, with all these games that we've been waiting for so long,
Right.
this would have been the only thing in the last decade that would have had that kind of weight. Now, those games were kind of similar in that way, but this one's, I mean, it's been like 15 freaking years.
That was a long time.
We were just talking about this. People who've never played the first one are hyped for it. And you say gameplay, if you've been watching, they have not done a good job of hyping this. I don't know why, but the developers have had like a YouTube developer diary where they've been showing pre-alpha footage and talking about
No
mechanics.
kidding.
Yeah, there's tons of gameplay footage. Now, a lot of it is very much like, here, we're going to go into engine and we're going to show you like this big open area with the
I
ship
gotcha.
and we're going to fly around with our rocket pack all the way up to the top of the statue. But they're showing you things that you saw in the cinematic in game, and it's like you get out of this giant freaking ship and now you're on like your smaller little skiff or you're in your rocket pack and you go up to the top of this huge thing, and it's like the scales are ridiculous and the mechanics look interesting and there's this warp mode where I go really fast. And so yeah, obviously they're very early on in terms of like actually fleshing the game out, but if they hit their promises, holy crap, you should go watch those videos. I am so hyped for this game.
I'm game. That's how I got hyped for Hellblade. I watched the developer diaries that they had on Ninja Theory's YouTube channel, and like I got so hyped for it, man. But Beyond Good and Evil 2, first off, the emotion that was in that room, like, dude, you could tell that like they were so happy that they could finally like reveal and talk about this. And then like the reaction from everybody else that was out there, like you said, people that didn't even play the first one, they were like like, it's so good.
Tears were shed.
Tears were shed, dude.
Tears were shed.
Tears were shed. And like I do agree that like a gameplay trailer needs to be shown, but like you said, the developer diaries are definitely a good way to get that. So I would definitely, obviously, keep an eye out for that, man. Like I think it'd be cool.
They showed a little bit of like melee combat animation and some stuff like that recently. Maybe they've been holding, I don't know how much. I mean, they may not have enough.
It's very possible. It could still be very early in development.
Yeah, maybe they show us some clips. I mean, remember Andromeda? They just like took forever to show us things for that, and I could see. Plus, the pressure on this is
kind of
enormous. Yeah. It has to be good. They can't, after all this time, they can't, especially when the amount of money they dumped into that cinematic. And
if they show back up and they've got something good to show, this is going to be the most hyped game.
Yeah. I
think, their press conference.
Yeah. I would argue that there are very few things that could happen at E3 within like the realm of what I consider reality that would compete with them showing more for this game. I'm just like, I'm looking forward to it. So looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. So looking at this list, Division 2, Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, Skull and Bones, Splinter Cell, Rayman, Beyond Good and Evil 2. How are you guys feeling overall about this press conference?
It starts off slow, gets awesome near the end.
It might be
if we go down that list.
It might be the best like overall consistency that we've done so far in these videos. I mean, the Microsoft one was good, and Scalebound really helps it rise. But this one, like, I mean, Division 2 for sure. Assassin's Creed, if it's as good as Origins from what I hear, great. Watch Dogs 3, I really should play Watch Dogs. Skull and Bones might be the one letdown. Splinter Cell I'm excited about. Rayman I'd be excited about. Beyond Good and Evil. Like, aside from one, reasonably interested in almost all of these. So.
I'm struggling a bit only because I'm indifferent to a lot of these games personally.
Yeah.
But to your point, I think the Division 2 is going to be a big deal. Splinter Cell, if that got shown off, if they did a new Rayman and Beyond Good and Evil 2, if they just had those 4 games, they got a hell of a conference. If you throw in Watch Dogs, you throw in Skull and Bones, and maybe a couple other things sprinkled here and there that we haven't discussed.
Yeah.
They got a pretty good conference coming up.
I agree.
I'd be stoked to see their indie stuff too, because they also have their
That's right.
indie-esque development studio. So I'd be stoked overall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this version of Ubisoft that actually doesn't feel like they're just dragging me through the mud.
It's not just Dance.
Yeah.
That didn't hit so well. So definitely check into Ubisoft's press conference.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. If they show something similar to this, it's gonna be a good time. Be sure to check out the other videos in our E3 2018 preview line. We're doing a bunch of those. We've also are going to react to all of the press conferences at E3, so make sure you check into that. And let us know, are there games on here that you're not hyped for? Are there games that you are hyped for that maybe we weren't? Is there anything we didn't talk about from Ubisoft that you think is worth mentioning? It's going to show up. What are your dreams? What are your unannounced games?
Do you think there's going to be a Far Cry 6? Who knows?
Might be a dream.
I think the better question is, do you think there's going to be a Far Cry 12?
All right, guys. Check you next time.
Later.
Woo. Like what you saw? Check out some of our other videos and be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with our latest content. Thanks for your support and thanks for watching.